This tutorial will demonstrate how to apply math to curves in LAS files. In this example, we will take a bulk density rho B curve that's in kilograms per cubic meters divided by 1,000 to get a rho B curve that's in grams per cc. The input curve looks like, the input data looks like this. You see, it's a normal LAS files. The curve section I've colored in red, and what we'll do is we're going to take this rho B norm, kilograms per cubic meters, and we'll change that to rho B norm in grams per cc. And here's the data section. The first data item is 2958, and we're going to turn that into 2.958. So to begin, we must start the LasApps software. There we go. We don't need that instruction form, and we'll begin by selecting the input file, and the input file is an example file that's included with the software. C, LasApps, example data, math scripts, example 1 shale volume, and here's your input file there. Pick the input file.las, click continue, and then we can go for the routine, which is located under More Tools, Math for LAS Files. This form pops up, it describes what you need to do to operate it, and we'll click on the Script tab, and here's where we need to write the math script to make that all happen. The syntax for math scripts are very important, so what we're going to do is haul in an old one and modify it accordingly. That's under Browse, LASSC, LasApps, example data, math scripts, shale volume. Here we have example script file number 1. Open, and here it is. The first 3 lines of this script are comment lines, and we can tell that because they have 2 dashes, which to you may look like one very long dash. We're going to eliminate these first 3 because they don't do anything. The next line is the equation line, and we're going to modify that one what we have, and everything else we're going to delete. There. So the output file that we're going to do is we're going to call rho B norm. And it's in quotation mark because curves are always within quotation marks. That's part of the syntax. And the original rho B norm we're going to divide by 1,000. And that's, so the input and output curves are always within quotation marks. That's part of the syntax. Numbers are not. Equation lines are always end in a semicolon. So what we're doing is we're taking the original rho B norm, dividing it by 1,000, and writing over top of that a new rho B norm. Let's just check the script for formatting errors. There's none. Good. So that takes care of the data section. If we go to the tab called Curve Information, we now have to fix that part of the LAS file to make sure that the units are correct. To get the syntax correct, we will haul in an old one, just like before. LasApps, example data, math scripts, example shale volume, example curve information file. And we see that the syntax for the header of the curve section of the header of the LAS file begins with the curve mnemonic. In our case, it's going to be rho B underscore norm. And then it has the units. It has a dot, and then the units. In our case, it's going to be grams per cc. We have some spaces, and then we have a colon, which is important, and after that we have the description of what this is, which is bulk density. So we'll check the curve information for formatting errors. No, that looks good. So we're going to run this script to change the data section. We're going to run this curve, we're going to use this curve information to fix the header of the file. We'll click continue. And there we are, we have the results. So we don't need this anymore. Now at this point we have to save the results, or what we can do is have a quick peek at it using the View Text Viewer for LAS files. Oh, there it is, yes. And what we'll do is we'll look in the temporary directory, which is LasApps temp, where this stuff is kept. So the math that was done made some intermediate files, but the final file is right here. Come on. There. Can make it bigger, it's a bit of a problem. And here we can see in the curve information section, we now have row B norm grams per cc. And in the data section, we have row B norm of 2.95, which is exactly what we wanted. So we can put that away. And at this point, you need to save the results by going to Save. Remember to save it in a new directory, because otherwise you will overwrite your input file, and you don't want to do that. Thank you for watching.